Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I got some new knives and one piece of EDC gear to share with y'all. We'll get started first. This is coming from NuKnives. Y'all have seen them on the channel before. This is the last one that I had on the channel, version of the KUMPANTER, their folding knife. The first one I ever had on the channel. It was an Amazon Knife of the Month pick. It's the G10 version with the D2 steel. This one is an upgraded one with titanium scales and a super slicey hollow ground M390 blade. Well, talking with these guys, I think their shop's out of South Carolina or North Carolina in Chapel Hill. I forget which one it is, but these are overseas produced for them. But they designed the entire line around the KUMPANTER frame, pretty much. I think it's pretty interesting. You don't see too many doing that anymore or nowadays. But it was an interesting folder. Then they dropped the utility knives. As you can see, same frame, but with a utility knife. This one has the brass, and then they also had the budget, or have the budget, with the G10. And I gotta say, I do love this utility knife. Probably gets used the most out of my folding utility knives. This one stays in a drawer in my kitchen. Everybody uses it, and this one stays in my knife room. Only thing I've ever complained about, especially with the 9-coated thumb studs, as you saw earlier, I slipped off of it. They're really slippery. Maybe they'll change that one day, or at least coat them. I noticed this one's not as slippery because of the coating. So they reached out. They got a new Kickstarter campaign that's going live here soon, and I'll drop a video when this goes live. They come in these little pouches. It's a nice pouch too. It's got YKK zipper on it, so you could use it for EDC storage if you wanted to. And there's the company name right there. What this is the T33. Like I said, it's going to be on Kickstarter, and there's going to be different variations. This one's got G10. I think there's a carbon fiber variant and maybe some other. You still have that front flipper right here and thumb studs. Front flipper, let's see. Front flipper works, and what you have is a pocket screwdriver. Now, for me, I could kind of see this useful as being a knife reviewer because I'm constantly using drivers. But there's two things that I noticed that I really would love to see changed on this before actual production. It's a liner lock. I don't know the price of these yet. Sorry, the campaign's not up yet. Well, in the end, you have magnetized and they're double-sided bits, and these are the micro bits. They stay in there good. You saw me flip it out just now. This thing didn't come shooting out across the room, so it's definitely a good magnet in there. It's something I like to see. But you get the double-sided bits, and then back here you have this little button right here, as you can see there, and you just slide this back. Then you have storage for 2 more double-sided bits. And I get why they went with the double-sided bits, so you could have more options. But as a knife reviewer or a knife guy, and you know, most of everybody on this channel that is watching this channel is, you would want Torx in here. And as you can see, you don't have any Torx. You have 3 Phillips heads. You got a flathead, and looks like, I forget what those are called. Is it the Allen, the H2 and an H1.5? I think that's a pretty big miss for this system. They're obviously going around a knife frame. I think you should at least have a T6, a T8, and a T10, and then maybe a flat and a Phillips. Put your T6 and T8 instead of this one, because I never use this at all. And you don't need so many Phillips heads, at least in my opinion. 1 flat, 1 Phillips, your standard, and then your T8, T6, T10. I just think you're definitely missing out by not having that. And one thing that I would love to see, okay, even with the double-sided bits, I think Weha still makes these double-sided bits like this. If you didn't have the bits that you needed personally, you could buy those bits. I'm gonna test out these bits. I don't know if they're hardened bits or what. Hopefully they are. But if I had the option to change them over to the micro Weha bits, I'm doing it all day, every day, because those haven't failed me, and you know, I can always count on them. Love to hear y'all thoughts. What do y'all think about the bit selection? Definitely let us know in the comments, because I'm sure they'll read the comments. And, you know, if I'm not the only one that feels that way, then, you know, I'm sure they would like to see that. So when this is closer, when the Kickstarter is released, I'll try to release a video. See, I slipped off of it again. I don't understand why they continue to use. I mean, it is slick for me, at least. All right, we got a brand new ZT that I'm liking a lot. It's a new ZT0044. You have a titanium frame, titanium button, nice looking capture pivot, deep carry clip. I do wish it was inset into the frame, but it does function nicely. And they have countersunk those screws. You have another accent right here with a large standoff back there in typical ZT fashion. Very well placed flipper tab sitting in front of that pivot. The action on this thing, incredible. I mean, this thing is snappy. So you have a drop point blade on here, satin finish. You do have some jumps up top that are functional. And this one is in CPM S45 VN steel. I think it's an attractive looking knife. It's a medium-sized knife. My medium-sized hands, I get a 4-finger grip on it. Seems this is the direction that ZT's taken. And, you know, after talking with them, they're trying to go with the market because the overbuilt stuff wasn't selling for them. So, you know, they don't want to lose money, obviously. You can reverse the pocket clip. Let's see. Check out that plunge grind. Oh, it looks like they did a good job on this one. Look, the plunge grind comes down right here. So you're going to have quite a bit of sharpening life. Not bad at all. Love it. Decent thickness on that tip. Yeah, this thing is beautiful with that action. Look at that. Beautiful. It's a little bigger than the Ontario Rat 2. It's almost, if not identical, to the Benchmade Bug Out. Very, very similar. Only thing that would have made this one better for me is if it had a thumb stud also. Let me know what y'all think about the 0044. They sent a new Kershaw model in to be much more budget friendly, and that is the new Kershaw Kindred. I like this one a lot, especially for a budget knife. So you have contoured aluminum. I do wish it had some texture because it is a little slick, especially right now when it's really cold out. Your hands aren't sweaty at all, so it's, I don't know, it's a little slicker than normal. You have a deep, look how deep carry that is. Wraparound clip, and it is reversible. The way it sits, it goes into that standoff back there. Excellent action, and I love that blade shape. Full flat ground, a D2 blade, excellent sharpening choil. You can have tons of sharpening life. Beautiful action, as you can see there. You can slow roll it. This one is a button lock. I'm not the biggest fan of button locks, but we will test it out. Make sure it's safe, reliable. And I'm guessing this is right here because of the button. And I'm wondering, maybe I'll have to check that out. I'm wondering if you can swap it around to the opposite side for lefties. I don't know. But you can still use it left-handed, so. And you have dual thumb studs, reversible clip. This one's probably more in line. Yeah, look. This one is pretty darn close, if not identical, to the Ontario Rat Model 2. Any of these knives that are available and you're interested in them, they will all be linked down below in the description. So I picked up a knife from my buddy's company, Orion Knives. This is the Aries. Very interesting knife. I bought it myself because I thought it was very cool looking, and I got to handle that at Blade Show last year, I think it was. It's got G10 scales. You got a fuller deployment on this. Easy to reverse flick. You can thumb flick it, or this is a button actuated liner lock up here. Like that. Nice and smooth action. Comfortable initially. You have a nice drop point tanto, compound ground, hollow ground here, flat ground in the front. Nice robust tip, 14C 2010 steel. My only complaint so far is the plunge grind and sharpening tool right here. You can see the plunge grind comes down right there. So I'm going to have to open that up if I decide to sharpen it up, which I will after I do some testing on it. Hopefully I'll be able to do a full review on this one. You know, it's a personal knife, so sometimes my personal stuff doesn't ever get a review. But being that it's my buddy, I will try my hardest to get this one done. Mill tie pocket clip that is reversible. We have the Tuya Knives Wolf. Look at that wicked blade on this one. You have this wicked harpoon recurve tanto there with that pokey tip. Nice deep hollow grind here. Thicker flat grind up here in the front. Nice functional jimping. Plus you have that little scoop right here. Trying to get used to the ergos. I haven't done testing on it yet. I just got this one recently. You do have, looks like you've got a decent sharpening choil here. Looks like that plunge grind comes to about, let me see where it thickens up. About right here. So you should have some sharpenings, and this is a recurve anyway, so M390 steel with a Rockwell hardness of 62 HRC. I'm good with that all day, every day. And this right here is paper micarta, and it's G-Carta, GL Hansen & Sons micarta. It's very grippy stuff. You also have a pup of color right here in this red. I don't know what you call this one. They have different colors. Blind screwed mill tie pocket clip. One thing I will say is that, and I could just tell by the look of it, This pocket clip's kind of stiff, and this grippy paper micarta, it's hard for me to get my pants underneath there. It's a tight fit, and there's not a lot of room underneath there. It'll probably break in, and I will let you know that for the full video. You almost got a full length tie backspacer. Look how thick those titanium liners are. It's a titanium liner lock. Massively thick liners there, and thick enough, I don't know if you can see that, there's a hardened stainless steel lock insert in there. Good access to the lock bar. Super smooth action, snappy action. Yeah, this one's a pretty cool one. This next one is probably my favorite. I like this one a whole lot. So this is the brand new Tuya knives Anzu, I think it is. So you have a titanium frame, and look how clean it is over here. So you have this marbled carbon fiber inlay right here. No body screws showing here, just a pivot. Flip it over, and you don't have any screws here either, and a blind screwed pocket clip. So I'm interested to see how they do that. I'm guessing it's done from somewhere on the inside, maybe with this backspacer. Yeah, this one's a cool one. So you have a front flipper with some very grippy jimping, a blade hole that works fantastic. I think this is just a sexy looking knife. What do y'all think? So you have this almost full length top swedge, and you have some really nice satin grinds there. Tuya does a great job with that. And this one is also, I'm pretty sure, from remember on the box, in M390 at 62 HRC. See, plunge grind sharpening choil. Yeah, looks like it's real close. Once again, that's a bummer. I'll probably have to open that up if I sharpened it. This one is designed, and I like a lot of his stuff. Where is it at? You got the Tuya logo there hidden, and on this side you can see the logo right there. That the Matzy. I've reviewed some of his stuff on the channel, and that's what he goes by on Instagram if you want to go check him out. This is his design. So it is a inset liner, as you can see, and it's just a locking liner, just a small little strip right here. It's screwed down back here. Access to that lock bar is good. You got a chamfer there. It's nice and comfortable. Front flipper works good. All in all, I think this is a beauty. Initially, it feels great in hand. We'll have to see. Let me know what y'all think about this one. Like I said, this was probably my favorite of the designs. And he's got another one coming to me that I think is a pretty interesting one as well. But I do have a discount code. It'll be STASA23. I don't know if it's 10% or what. But definitely check that out. I'll try to put it in the description. So I reviewed the Tuya Knives Wrath V2 on the channel. It's got a contour tie frame, DLC blade, S90V steel. You got crowning on the spine right here, nice and comfortable. I like this knife a lot. This is a Dave Warren design, as you can see the DW right there. Very slicey hollow grind here, flat grind up here in the front. This is an extremely slicey knife. Well, these were out of stock for a while, so he sent this one. These are the new ones. They're back in stock finally. You saw that contour tie frame. This one has a twill carbon fiber inlay, and they did a fantastic job on that inlay. From what I just looked it over recently, and they got one on this side also. Tie pocket clip, and you don't have to worry about it hit. Even though I'd like to see that on the inside, you don't have to worry about it grabbing your pants because it's sitting on the carbon fiber. That front flipper jimping is very, very grippy, great action. Now, it's kind of hard to tell. Maybe when you do it like this, you could tell, but it's a very slight difference. But the top one is your drop point. The bottom one is their Tonto. When I have it like this, I can kind of see it now. Still in S90V steel. You can see it right there. There's Dave Warren's logo. And there's your lockup there. Great access to that lock bar. Perfect texture. Easy to get my thumb in there, no problem. And this one is rock solid. No play any direction. So yeah, that is the Tuya Wrath V2. We got another real steel. This is the G5 Metamorph, and this is the button lock version. I've always liked the Metamorph, especially the compact Metamorph. This was an Indiana Knives exclusive. Started out having this top flipper, and it's just a very streamlined, slim, sleek design, CEO style knife. This one's an M390 steel. It's an O-stop held design. Single-sided thumb stud, but I understand that. It's like how it buries into the handle. G10 on this one. The action is fantastic. Still got that extremely bulky tip there. And this one is in 14C 2010 steel. You're going to have all this sharpening life. That plunge grind comes all the way back right there. Fantastic job, Real Steel. They did an outstanding job. And because it's a button lock, look how thick those scales are. That's some thick G10. Very smooth on that closure. You could also use the button if you like. Very lightweight. My only complaint on this one, and it's an easy fix, where these chamfers are, look at this. You see that? That is a sharp, sharp edge right there for where that chamfer stops. And for my hands, it's pretty uncomfortable. I mean, look at that. You can see it's a hard 90-degree angle. You have a deep carry clip. They did a great job of insetting the clip, but then not countersinking the screws. I don't get that. At least they used the rounded screws, so you shouldn't have much of a problem, but that's gonna not leave a whole bunch of space underneath there. So if you have thick pants, it may be a little bit difficult to get it all the way down there. Floating backspacer, hidden lanyard post. There's a lot of stuff I like about this one. Looks like they're using T6 hardware though. Wish they were all T8. So even though I like this one a lot, the way it comes, that's going to be a hot mess, I think. But I don't know until I actually test it. But after the review, that's an easy one to either take some sandpaper and just knock that corner off, put a little bevel right there. Or if I want to make it even more softened, I could take my work sharp, put it on the slack belt, and then just go up and down like that and just round it over right there. It's a brand new Kansept Superhawk. This thing is massive. It's either a 4-inch blade or close to it. And that's one thing I like about Kansept. They're not scared to do the crazy knives, the big knives, the things that I'm sure some companies just don't want to do. And I love it. That's why I love it so much. I like this. I liked it at Blade Show, I remember. But just to give you a perspective of how big this is, here is the Kaiser Sheepdog XL. It's bigger than the XL Sheepdog. If anybody owns the XL Sheepdog, you know how big that one is. And then the Corvid XL, it's a big boy as well. It makes the Corvid XL look small. Look at that. That is crazy. It's definitely a knife that puts a smile on my face. I mean, I get it. It's not going to be for everybody. It's a heavy beast because of how massive this blade is. All that tie. Get that pocket clip. Look, they even did something right on this one as well. Look at that. Lock relief is on the inside. Outstanding job. Now, this jimping, I'm worried that that's going to be a little uncomfortable for whenever I do my testing. I'm probably going to do a little bit different testing, being that it's a hawkbill blade. Look at that contour tie on that massive slab of tie. There's plenty of different variations. There's some that have speed holes if you like that kind of thing. I prefer no speed holes if I can. Looks like you're probably going to be able to get to about right there before you have to worry about the thickness of that plunge grind. But I don't know. I'll have to wait till I sharpened it. Well, here's another shot of all the knives. Let me know in the comments which one of these is your favorite and which one would you like to see a review on first. Like I said, if you're interested in any of these, if they are available, I will have them all linked down below in the description. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below as well, and I'll do my best to get back with you. I hope every one of y'all is having an absolute amazing day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.